as of this morning, the new Premier League fixtures for the 22-23 season have been announced, and Tottenham will be opening their campaign at home to Southampton on Saturday the 6th of August. Saturday 3 p.m. kickoff, and apparently it's our first 3 p.m. kickoff on a Saturday at home for about 3 years, 4 years.
I heard this. It's incredible, isn't it, to think it's been that long. But yeah, it's great to start Saturday 3 o'clock. And Southampton at home is probably a very decent fixture to have.
Yeah, I mean, can't complain. It seems like a, not want to say easy start, but it's probably one of the fixtures, the kind of fixtures you want on the opening day. Other opening day fixtures, you have Arsenal taking on Crystal Palace on a Friday night at Selhurst Park.
3-0 to Palace.
You have Man City taking on West Ham United on the Sunday. You have Man United at home to Brighton. You have Chelsea away at Everton, 5:30. So I think the TV list will be done for the opening game of the season. And Liverpool take on Fulham away from home as well. So some tasty games happening on the opening day of the season. In terms of
the Frank Lampard derby, haven't you? Everton-Chelsea.
It was in Chelsea, exactly, opening day. In terms of how Tottenham's opening few games look, so obviously Southampton at home, then Chelsea away, Wolves at home, Forest away and West Ham away will complete our August fixtures. So a bit of a mixed bag probably for August, but some tough, two away London derbies mixed in with Forest, Wolves and Southampton. So not the easiest start, is it?
It's not, but you look at that and what I saw from that is Southampton at home. We owe them revenge for that disgusting performance. Back in January. Then you got Chelsea away, which is what Brian Ireland actually wanted, my Tottenham on Tour partner, one of the guys from Tottenham on Tour, wanted to get Stamford Bridge out the way as early as possible. And then you got Wolverhampton, who we also owe a bit of revenge for. And I was at that 2-0 with you guys, and that was the worst first half I've ever seen. And then we got Nottingham Forest, and then revenge away at West Ham when you and me were doing the watch along with that. And so it's a revenge month.
Yeah, hopefully we're getting a lot of revenge. It's very, very true. One interesting thing to point out, obviously the Champions League fixtures will be played across September, October and November, with the World Cup coming in December. But in terms of the Champions League, here are the games which we will be playing following midweek Champions League fixtures, and they're not the easiest games. So you have Man City away following the one on September the 7th. Leicester at home. Arsenal away comes after an international game. Everton at home. Bournemouth away, and then Liverpool at home. So City, Leicester, Arsenal, Liverpool coming after midweek games. Then Sainsbury's, and they're also going to have midweek games. But still, not the easy fixtures, is it?
No, I mean, Leicester, I don't think have got made Europe, have they? So they'll have a clean run.
True.
But we've got Manchester City and Leicester, two games that you and me will remember very, very well from last season.
You bet.
Man City, obviously, we'll see if the who do we have over them stays. But yeah, there are some tough ones on it. And it's how we react. I think in the Champions League, when we had Champions League football, we did better than what we did when we played Thursday, Sunday, because of Europa. So with the team we're assembling as well, hopefully it won't be too much of a hard chore for us.
Yeah, hopefully we'll have a much more better, more deep squad, more quality, and we can cope with these midweek games as much as we can cope with obviously having the game until the weekend. One important point to note as well is that before the end of October, we will have already played Chelsea away, West Ham away, Man City away, Arsenal away, and Man United away. All before the end of October. So all those away games, those are probably 5 or 6 of the toughest away games, especially for Spurs. Arsenal, West Ham, and Chelsea. London derbies away from home, they're always difficult fixtures. And then obviously Man City and Man United, two of the big Manchester clubs. Those 5 away games all being done and dusted by the end of October. So if we're in a good position by the end of October, that would be an unbelievable sign.
It really will be. What I have liked about this fixture list on the brief glances I've had, there's not been one of those like patches where we have like 3 or 4 of the top ones or really, really tough games. There's a couple back to back, but like I said, getting those 5 away games out of the way by October, is fantastic for us. It's fantastic.
If we're in and around the top 4 by October, with all those tough away games having been played, then that would be an unbelievable indication as to how serious we are this season about challenging for big things in the league. Obviously, it's going to be difficult to close the gap on Liverpool City, but that would, because to have all those teams come second half of the season to the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, where we're very, very strong, and especially having 3 London derbies in the second half of the season all at home could be crucial. Could be very crucial.
It could be, and with all the signings coming in, if that atmosphere that was getting generated from the Arsenal game onwards carries on, then obviously it's going to be a very, very intimidating place all season. And for those people to be coming in the second half of the season, the business end is a positive thing, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. Obviously, the World Cup is in starting in mid-November this season, as opposed to usually being in the summer. Obviously, that's been well covered. But in terms of the fixture list, at the moment, there's a report that this is set to be changed. But as things stand, it doesn't make for good reading, I would say, the fixture list. Because at the moment, Spurs play Leeds on the 12th of November at home. And 1 week later are going to the World Cup starts. Yep. So literally, there's 1 week between the end of the Premier League and the start of the World Cup. And more unbelievably for me, the World Cup then lasts for a month up until the 17th of December. And then, right now it says 17th of December will be the final of the World Cup. And 21st of December is the 4th round of the Carabao Cup. Yep. So 4 days after the World Cup final, the 4th round of the Carabao Cup is scheduled. That is ridiculous. That's ludicrous.
Both those words are correct. And you'd think that might get moved, but it's a case of where they're going to find the time to do it. But I saw yesterday the Premier League have said they're going to cut down on the Christmas schedule, which looks right. It's just Christmas and Boxing Day and New Year's Eve, not the 28th and the 27th and everything in between. So you got to hope that Carabao Cup game gets moved, because that's just ridiculous, like you said.
Check there might something. One sec, he said something been changed on the website. I don't know, but I think hopefully it gets changed, because that is obviously ridiculous. In terms of key dates, Arsenal, the first North London derby will be. Where is it?
October the 1st. Rez is booking his ticket today to fly to Toronto for it.
Yeah, for the North London derby. Yeah, yep. October 1st will be the first North London derby. That'll be at the Emirates. And then they come back to White Hart Lane on January the 14th. Hopefully in the new year. The other key dates, obviously Chelsea away, second game of the season. And then Chelsea at home will be 25th of February. One also quite interesting... I thought interesting thing about the fixture list is our run-in, because the last 10 games of the season we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So we have I think it starts from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It starts from April. Yep. Starts beginning of April. We have Everton away, Brighton at home, Bournemouth at home, Newcastle away, United at home, Liverpool away, Palace at home, Villa away, Brentford at home, Leeds away. Not the worst running in the world from April onwards. Yep. So if we're really in with a shout of anything come the start of April, then that is a pretty good last 10 games to be going into.
It is. I said I was on Bob Spurs show this morning, very briefly, and you look at that month of April, apart from the last 2 games, which obviously stand out a sore thumb, this is going to be the pressure month, where if we are going for top 3, or we are trying to push for, let's say, second in our wildest dreams, or even the top, this is where I think the mentality of the squad is going to come in, because you look at that, and like you said, that is quite a... You wouldn't say no to that running before. If someone said that to you yesterday, you would have taken it, wouldn't you?
You got United and Liverpool in there, but they're not like London derbies as well. They're not like pressure games in that sense. But I mean, it could be a very good run-in for us, those last 10 games. So, I mean, obviously, depending on how well other teams do, you might be looking at one of these teams later in the season thinking, oh, that's a really tough game.
Yep.
But I think the last 10 games looks fairly kind. So we obviously got a lot of tough games during the middle of February, probably looking like our toughest month, I would say, with
Oh yeah.
Man City, Leicester, West Ham, and Chelsea.
And you've got the Carabao Cup final.
And the Carabao. It says here the Carabao Cup semi-final will be in February, the second leg, and then the final will be the end of February.
That's crazy.
That. So if we're in the still in the Carabao Cup, that will be a very, very difficult month.
It will. Who knows if we strengthen in January as well? If we're really, really going for it, there could be new additions. So yeah, that does look like a very stressful month, doesn't it?
100%. And obviously October, the interesting thing about October is we could play up. We are going to be playing up to 9 games in October, which is a pretty jam-packed month of football.
Yep.
With 3 Champions League games and 6 Premier League games. So if this is an evidence of how much we're going to need the squad, I don't know what is.
Yeah, not just that we need the squad, that we get them before pre-season, which it looks like we're doing, so they get up to Conte standards, ready for the season, not that little bit below and need a couple of months to get with an Antonio Conte training regime. But that looks like a blockbuster month, doesn't it?
Yeah, definitely. And obviously ending the season away at Leeds, I'm always a bit annoyed when we end the season away from home because you never know what's going to happen. You always want to end the season at home, but hopefully the league will be wrapped up by then, so it'll be okay.
Exactly. And like I said, the last away game you went to for the last game of the season was a rather good one on your birthday.
Wasn't too bad.
5-0 to Norwich, so let's hope we can repeat that. But do you know what? I only been to Leeds once, and it was when we got battered 4-1 in the FA Cup semi-final by Everton.
Right.
So I don't have very good memories of Ellen Road.
Yeah, that's understandable. Obviously, we did win 4-0 last season at Ellen Road, but under Jesse March, maybe there'll be an improvement next season for Leeds, although looks like could be losing Rafinha. All right, so let's take one last look at the fixture list before we wrap up this segment. So overall thoughts of I think it's a fairly good fixture list for Tottenham in terms of how spread out the big fixtures are. I think the run-in at the end of the season's fairly kind to us. But obviously the month of October and the World Cup are probably not the most ideal in terms of timings and stuff. But what do you think of the fixture list overall? I think it's fairly kind.
I would say with the way, like you said, that there's not that big pile up of games in a short amount of time. I think it's one of the most favourable fixture programmes we've been given. I mean, when it comes to the World Cup, every team's going to be affected by this around the world in every league. So it's not. We just hope no one gets an injury or anything like that. But yeah, looking forward to it. I'm very optimistic with this fixture list that we've been given.
Definitely. So there you have it. The fixtures have been announced. Looking forward now to August the 6th, where Spurs will kick off their campaign against Southampton, hopefully with some lovely new signings.